Okay, welcome back, everybody. This is going to be featuring, this is not what I would call a performance shooting based video. This is a video more focused on the reference gun in the MILSURP collection in the Armory. This is if I get this right, a Swedish M41B sniper rifle. By some accounts, this is considered probably the best Mauser, true Mauser bolt action sniper rifle ever made, or made, like pre-1950. Neither here nor there on that. I don't have an opinion on that. When you go to look at these on Gunbroker and you see the prices that these things bring, you are going to fall out of your chair. But don't get all excited looking at this video, because this gun we bought this gun, I mean, it was over 10 years ago, and we got this from Samco. I think they were in Florida. I don't think Samco's around anymore. And Samco imported a bunch of these, and when they started getting to the bottom of the barrel, they were kind of putting stuff together. And so this would be what you would call a mixed master gun. So this is not an all matchy situation. As a matter of fact, when we got the gun, it had, yes, it has a, does it see, they at 6.3? Yeah, it has a base. It had a, what's what I'm pointing at. It has a base that came from Samco, and it's, force matched to the receiver. They electric penciled it. And so we had to go out and get the scope and scope mount, a correct scope and scope mount for this gun. This guy, let's take a look at this. So how this thing mounts, this is kind of a kludge, why modern stuff is a lot better, is the side of the receiver is drilled and tapped, and that mount is put in. And then you put, or a base, you put this base in, and then you get the scope mount that slides on and off that base. And this lever helps you crack the thing loose and slide it off. It slides off the back. My understanding is that there were two versions of this gun, the M41 and the M41B. I guess they were all converted to M41B standards in the 50s. And so I think a couple ways to denote that, but again, it wouldn't really quite apply to this gun because it's a not matching gun, would be this, what I would call micrometer style rear sight. That's considered an upgrade. Also, apparently, I've heard this, I'm not going to say it's true, is they blacken the bolts on the upgraded guns. And so, that's a couple ways to tell. I believe that, I believe that most of these were converted to the B standard. I think there's very few M41s. I've never seen one. Not that I would even really particularly pay attention. This individual gun, as you can see, is unfired. It still has the Samco hang tag on it. I don't know what that star means, the two stars. So if you have any, it says 2013 on it. If you have any feedback on that as to what that would mean, I don't know, maybe that's like double bad, like, oh no, almost a red tag. So we had to get the scope. We got the scope covers. We had to get the scope mount. Pulling this gun out of the Armory, it became obvious to me that the wood on this is a little dry. So once we function test it today, make sure it doesn't blow up or bulge of brass. We're going to have to take the entire thing out of the stock and treat the wood. We're not going to refinish it. We're just going to treat it, get some oil in it, and just kind of preserve the gun. The sling did come with the gun, and you can tell that is some kind of original sling. Let's see, it's got the typical how it connects in the back. And here's how it connects in the front. This sling to me feels very old. It appears, almost like it's ready to fall apart. I mean, it's not, but I wouldn't, if I was even going to do anything remotely serious with this, I wouldn't even shoot one of those vintage sniper matches with this, because I think this could potentially break. A couple of things, I guess, of particular note that you should know if you're interested in these guns, and they will be horrendously expensive. They're chambered in 6.5 of 55, 6.5 Swede. My understanding is the triggers are upgraded. That's not just a rack grade trigger job. They did upgrade the trigger. Also, how you adjust the elevation and windage on this could be a little confusing for some people. So elevation is obviously handled at the top. It's this particular scope. Well, you know what? Let's talk about the scope for a minute. So we had to go and get a scope that was appropriate for this rifle. We are not claiming that this is the scope that came with this rifle. And we're not claiming that this is the scope that needs to be on this rifle. We are just got an appropriate scope, age appropriate, and somebody somewhere we had found in research had put this kind of scope on this kind of rifle. So this is a Jena, Jena Zeliver. Let's see if anyone wants sun's coming down. So a Jena scope. It is a just a German post and horizontal lines that come into points. Nothing special. You do your, well, we'll see how this works out, because I'm sure this is in meters, not yards. And I don't know what the military ball loading was for this in 6.5, but you adjust your elevation for distance right there. It's you can go below 0, and then you can take it to 0. Again, we haven't zeroed any of this. There's a friction knob, little friction knob right there to maybe you lock it into place. Windage is going to be a little tougher. Windage you do on the base. And so this is where things, are not as good as they are today. The good old days weren't always that good. So if I have to do any windage adjustment with this, I literally have to unscrew the base and start sliding it around, left and right, which we're not going to do today because I've never done that on this. And I'm not exactly certain that I know how to do it, and I'm not going to do it here on the range. I'm going to do it back in the armory. Let's see, do I have that backwards? I do have that backwards. It's really, I think that's pretty much it. I feel like I'm forgetting something, and I can't remember what it is. We're not going to do this from the main rifle shooting position. We're just going to do it from over here. So, eyes and... I guess I could have. So 6.5. This is some PPU, 139 grain, full metal jacket. I do not know if this is the military loading, but I figured PPU is probably pretty close. Let's see if we can. We'll just leave it like that. So first things first, think twice. Eyes, ears, just in case. All right. Turned easily. I kind of babied that. Nothing crazy goofy. All right. There you go. It's been a while since I've run a turn bolt. Actually, I used to run an FN SPR E3G, so it's a Mauser action. I'm a Mauser guy, not a Remington 700 guy. So let's see if we I'm curious if I can run the bolt without taking my face off the gun. Was kind of ugly. I want to flip this, but I don't know how well the safety works. All right. It's about 100 and I'd say about 140 yards. So that's 200. Let's try that. Again, this gun has never been, damn, I'm crawling up on this thing. That scope needs to be way back. And it needs a cheek piece. Let's take a look here. Didn't see it. Ooh, this not eject well. Let's see if we can. Yeah, that scope for eye relief for me is going to have to come way back. Luckily, there's enough room to do that. I wouldn't be surprised if I were to look on the internet. Well, no, actually, I'm going to run into that. I'm going to run into that screw. I don't have a lot of room, so I'm going to have to crawl up on this. Yeah, this is what I. This is ugly as hell. Holy cow, that sucks. We tried. So anyway, you know, we're going to have to put a lot of work on this gun. We'll have to get it on paper at 50 and work it out, zero it, set the eye relief. The eye relief is just ridiculous. I'm looking through a straw. So if you want to see any more stories or pictures or links of anything like this, please go to our website at John1911.com. That's JOHN1911.com. Remember, it's all about shooting guns and having fun. Everybody, have a good day.